How you doing?
Mark XTC.
I've been called that a few times, yeah.
Welcome to the tub.
I know, yeah, it's lovely. This is absolutely lovely. This really is. It's great. I love that picture as well, by the way. It's absolutely lovely. The whole thing. I mean, I came in, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have a clue, and then you showed me around. I was like, wow. And then the AZ, mate. Yeah. I'm not going to swear yet. I'll behave for now.
No, it's all right. I'm worse anyway, mate, to be fair. So this is the Take You Back podcast, where basically we take you right back to
Wicked.
That's it, to where you began, really, mate. We've had a little bit of a chat earlier on, but we didn't go
about quite a few things in there.
Yeah, we didn't go too much.
We didn't go too in depth about the history as well, actually, because like I said, we was talking and we talked about sequins and things like that, but especially because the events are coming up and things like that. But I think what we did want to talk to is how it all began before all that.
Yeah, that's what I want to get to. I mean, what was it like? I mean, 15-year-old, weren't you? Started in clubs.
I was 13.
13
when I first started. So if we're going way back, I was 13. I was at school, 13, 14. Freesdale School in Oldham. That's my school that I was in. My cousin Paul was also in the same school. Paul was like into ska and all different kind of stuff. So when I went round to his, he's had music on and he was like, DJing. I'm going playing at this club. I'm going to play at this bar. And he was already DJing, doing all these things all around Oldham. I was like, easy, so I want to be like that. So that's like 14, 15-year-old me got my little tape deck, and it had a turntable on top. I used to buy my records from a place called Golden Disc in Oldham.
Right.
And I'd go home and I'd watch people like Jazzy Jeff and there's a guy called DJ Cheese. Watch all them doing all these different scratching, thinking, what's all that? Why is he doing that? What's it? And then I'd practice that with my tape deck.
Yeah.
And then Paul would later hear me and say, right, you're going to come and do that in one of my bars that I'm DJing at. So I was only, like I said, 13, 14.
Wow.
And going into these pubs in Oldham playing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's mad, like, I mean, I don't know, how old are you now?
54.
54?
54 now.
Right, okay, yeah. So, I mean, back then it was a bit different for, like, when you're younger going and working in venues. Now it's a completely different ballgame.
I mean, I don't even know how I got in, if I'm honest. I mean, I was tall, but, and I was Paul's cousin, but I don't know how I got in these pubs in Oldham. I was like, how am I allowed in these places? Only because, Iggy, everybody knew Iggy, so I got in.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew Iggy, so, yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, what was how old was you when you first like got your first pair of decks? Like, when did that come about?
Oh, wow. You know what? I've never ever even spoke about that before, because I've always spoke about how I first started scratching and DJing on the one turntable and the tape deck.
Right. I
first got a pair of Sharp turntables.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't have no pitch control, nothing like that. There's just two Sharp turntables, and I think I had a MRT 60 mixer, an old MRT 60 mixer, and I used to have to push it in the middle to keep the tunes in time.
Yeah.
And I was beat matching. I remember trying to beat match with Brutal House, Nitro Deluxe. Dun 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 dun. Trying to keep it in time. So yeah, that was the first pair of Technics. I don't think I got till I was about 18, 19.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to save up for them. And I bought a second-hand pair off a guy. What was his name called? It wasn't Dennis. It was a guy called Dennis. He used to work for a guy. Dennis was somebody who worked for Stanton.
Right.
And Dennis used to work for somebody else. And I got my first pair of them. Andy was called. He had a equipment shop near. It was near Sankey's, but more. On the other side, I can't remember the actual. It was, like I said, it was more on Ancoats. Yeah. And I remember going into Andy's shop and he's like, "You can pay me off," I was like, "No, I wanted to save up and just get them," And I got them with flight cases, and I still got them, still to this day.
Have you same ones?
Still to this day, still got the same ones.
So what did you? So you started off on a tape deck, you said?
Yes.
Wow.
It's two tape decks. It's a twin tape deck.
Yeah.
And it was a turntable on top.
Yeah.
And I'd be scratching on that like that, and the tune would be played on that. I still got mixes. I did mixtapes.
Right.
So you could record on that one, play on that one, and the turntable would be like, there's switch between. Yep. So the track would play on the tape, and I'd scratch on the turntable, and then bring it in. And it was like, I still don't know how I did it to this day, but when I listen back to the mix, I think, how did I do that? But then you realise, when you have like a switch on a tape deck and a turntable, and it's a switch, and you can just, in between it, you can hear both.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing when I was a kid, and I was like, wow.
Just jimmying it, like.
Yeah, so I was thinking, wow, that's pretty mad. You know what I mean? I think back to how mad I used to be able to that fine to be able to hear both.
And that's you just being creative, like not kind of
14 years old.
Yeah, just finding a piece of
when
equipment.
my students come in now, I'm open to everything. You know, because if I did that when I was that age, they can do anything.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because they've got it all now. Yeah, that's
all the equipment now. They've got all the gadgets. So yeah.
So you won the competition?
Yeah, I won the MC in Hacienda.
Wow.
So that was mad. That was again Paul. He basically christened the XTC thing. So I was playing at a bar called Zolly Bosch's in Oldham. I think I was 17 or 18, and he got this bar called Zolly Bosch's. And we'd do that, playing R&B and hip hop and a few house tunes here and there, but like we were talking 87, 88 here.
Yeah.
And so I'd have been 16, 17. So I was going in this bar. Pete Zolly used to own it, I remember Pete, and he was like, don't bet your mark being in here, he's only 16, 17. He said, but look, what he does is good, so just watch him and you'll see. So we just ended up playing that, and then the DMC competition was every year.
Right.
People like Leaky Fresh and OND and Chad Jackson, they used to enter it all the time at the Hacienda, and they'd win year after year.
Yeah.
So Paul said, right, our mark's better than all you, I'm going to enter our mark, you know what I mean? Because he knew them all. I was like, oh, I didn't know what I was getting into, but went into it. I was quite fortunate that I came joint first with a guy called Beanie from Blackpool. I know Beanie well, but he's still a great lad, Beanie. But again, it was more on crowd, cheering you. So I had different techniques that I practiced, and Beanie was, he brought loads of people in from Bolton. So we had that kind of thing with the crowd. I had the Oldham crowd and he had the Bolton crowd. So we all had that. But then there was the different techniques that I'd do, which I'd practiced, watching Jazzy Jeff, watching, all these people. So I had other techniques and scratches. So I kept pushing forward with that. So luckily I won that, and I got loads of work from the Hacienda from it, working downstairs in the Hacienda, DJing them there, playing old school hip hop and things like that. And then just from that point then, from Hacienda to Banshee to Sequins, Raves, and it just snowballed. Because Paul created the Mix Factory in about 86.
Right.
He created the Mix Factory. And the Mix Factory then was hip hop, old school, which was more housey, and R&B. So we'd play at bars around Oldham.
Yeah.
And a club called Butterflies in Oldham.
Right.
So then we played in Butterflies, and we started getting noticed by other people, and Paul, being Paul, was booking us left, right and centre. But it became, instead of it being the Mix Factory, it was me. Originally it was me, Paul, and a guy called Easy. Not Easy. Yeah, Easy. Yeah, it's called Easy, but I can't remember his second name. But anyway, it was called Easy. Paul and Easy were like, in the late, they're a lot older than me. And I was the young lad. But there's a picture somewhere, and it's Paul on one side, Easy on the other side, and then me in the middle doing all this crazy scratch poses. Then we ended up, getting loads of gigs. Then Paul started branching out into the rave world.
Yeah.
Said, right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this as well. And he was like dictating and orchestrating us all to do these different things. And
mentoring you in a sense.
Well, in a sense, yeah. In a sense. But yeah, we was Easy and Paul, they were a lot older than me. I was a young kid. They brought in another lad called Keith Biggs, DJ KB.
Right.
And me and Keith, was like, this is a bit weird, because we were just like old school R&B and hip hop boys. We didn't really know what was going on with the rave world. Yeah. Paul already had, his finger in the pie, and he also delivered records to Eastern Bloc and Spinning.
Right. Okay.
Then. So this is like early 90s.
Yeah.
Paul was like the delivery guy of music to these people.
Right. Yeah.
So he was bringing these tunes home to us, saying, right, this is going to be massive. You need to start playing this as well.
Yeah.
So this is like 88, 89.
Right.
This is when the house music started coming in, Adonis and all these tunes. And we were like, oh, these are great.
And you were getting the first pick of the bunch.
We were getting the first pick of the bunch.
Yeah.
So then that's why we got into the rave world. So from that point then, Mix Factory, was like, oh. So then I knew a lad called Dave Paul, and I knew Dave well from Shaw. And Dave used to always come to the rave. Oh, Mark, I want to let me play, because he loved rave, and we was not as much into rave as Dave was.
Yeah.
Because we was like old school hip hop boys. So I was like, Paul, bring Dave into Mix Factory. You know what I mean? So he ended up coming in, but then him and Paul fell out, so he ended up getting thrown out because Dave was just Dave. But before then, we did loads of raves together. We did do Banshee, we did do Sequins.
Yeah.
But then when it came to the mythologies and the amnesias and the edge, that was just me. That I used to go and do them kind of things, which,
Right.
I think Dave and Keith wasn't too happy that it was always me that was going doing these festivals and things like that. But that's what happened, and that's why the XTC thing became bigger,
Right. Okay.
as well as a drug.
Yeah.
So the XTC, Paul named me he just named me Extra Tough Cutter.
Right.
That's what he named me for DMC. When DMC was 89, 88 or 89.
Right. Yeah.
He named me Extra Tough Cutter. I was 17, 18. I didn't have a clue about the drug. I've never taken a drug in my life. Still to this day. And Paul was like, "You're gonna be called XTC, Extra Tough Cutter now. That's your name. That's your name." Because I was called MC1
Right.
back then. My day, I created a little. Can't remember what you called, just some ornament, and had MC1 on it. I branded myself MC1
Right, okay.
for McKinley, so it's MC1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul said, "No, you're going to be called XTC." I was like, "Right, okay."
Yeah.
Extra Tough Cutter, that's who you are. Right, okay. So, and then when you hear all the mixtapes from Mix Factory, you can hear, "Come on, XTC, cut it up." I'm like, I don't know if this XTC thing's gonna stick. Then the drug was just huge.
Yeah.
XTC was just massive, and it was like, "Yeah, XTC's gonna get you." And then it was like, I see what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was clever. It was just great marketing.
Yeah,
was
really,
just,
yeah.
He was
That's
very,
it.
very
Branded
clever.
you up, basically.
The cousin was very, very clever, and he still is to this
Yeah.
day.
That's
Yes, he's good at branding.
yeah. Well, that's brilliant.
Branded meats.
Yeah, that's it. Well, when did you get like so you was doing all your raves? I mean, like the producing side of things, and like what?
So the originally Paul teamed up with a lad called Ian to
Right.
produce Mix Factory music,
Yeah.
basically, and they made a song called "Burning,"
Right.
which is great. It was a good song,
Yeah.
but I wanted it to have a bit more oomph. I wanted breakbeat in there
Yeah.
because I like my breakbeats. By that time, it was hip hop and breakbeats.
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
So they put a little breakbeat behind it. Burning was quite good, quite successful at the time. Burning, I think, got to 40. No, originally, this is why I remember this story. It was about 38 in the charts, and we was planning then to go to Top of the Pops.
Right.
It was like the plan was to go to Top of the Pops. It was 38 midweek. So it was like, buzzing, it's going to go up. We're going to be in the top 30. It's going to be great. And it dropped out to 41. So the trip to Top of the Pops and everything, because we were signed to a company called All Around the World.
Yeah.
So the trip to go to Top of the Pops was all planned. It was all ready. We was all going to pretend that we was, playing different things and
Miming on the
I'm going to
decks.
be behind the decks. I'm going to pretend I'm scratching. I'm going to be doing this. And then we didn't end up going. So it was like, so it went to 41. But Burning was like, it was a great song.
Yeah.
And people have sampled it today. You know what I mean? I think it was about 10 years ago. Wilkinson sampled it in one of his tunes.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it higher and higher.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing it thinking, I'm going to take you, that's Burning. That's Burning. That sampled Burning. So I was listening to it. And I phoned Paul and said, Paul, do you know that Wilkinson sampled your tune? And he went, which one? I said, Burning. He's like, what? So I played it down the phone, the Wilkinson tune. He's like, no way, that's Jill. The singer who sung Burning. I think it was Jill. I was like, yeah, I knew it was, you know what I mean? He's like, right. So he got onto the label, and then I think they got sorted out with it.
Yeah.
And then we made Take Me Away.
Right. Yeah.
So they made a nice version of Take Me Away, which was very nice. And I said, I've got to do an harder version than that.
Yeah.
He's like, So he put me in the studio with Lee, and I played the riff. Lee edited it a bit. So there we go.
Yeah.
Did the scratching, brought all the breaks in, the different breaks I wanted, then the riff, and everything, and then just playing the vocal. Remember, I cut the vocals up, so I had to Take Me Away, take me on just up and down the keyboard.
Yeah.
And when I did that, Take Me Away, and nothing else, he looked at me and went, is that it? I said, yeah. He said, you're not going to have the rest of the vocals? I said, no, just going to have that bit. That's
Drop
it.
straight down. Yeah.
And he looked at me, Paul, he's like, but you want more vocals in there? I said, no, I don't. I said, that's it, just have that bit. And then a bit later on, take me away, broke it down to the Take Me Away and up and down the keyboard. And he's like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like it. And still to this day, it's many people's preferred version.
Yeah.
The XTC come hard mix.
Yeah,
I said I wanted to do an harder mix, and that was the one I did.
It's iconic. It was an iconic track for,
Still is to this day. I mean, went to Seville 2 weeks ago, and I've been to Seville loads of times. But this was the first time that some guy come dancing on the stage. It was great. Some guy just like, Mark, I love this tune in Spanish. And then he went dancing. And I was like, okay. And it just going mad in the crowd. I was like, wow, Take Me Away really is an anthem over here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
it is across the world, mate. I mean.
Well, like I said, for me, I've you made the tune, in 1991 I made the tune.
You're right, really right.
And that's, you know, I don't even want to count how many years ago it is. Even though I'm supposed to be good at maths, but I don't even count how many years ago, because it was that many years ago I made that song, and I'm still playing it now to this day. So I love that.
What was your mix called? It was the
XTC Come Hard mix.
Come Hard mix. That was it. Yeah.
No, that's the one.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So and it did come hard.
It did. Well, I wanted it to. I mean, it was the fact of the breakbeats as well.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I mean?
Of course.
It started off with the breakbeat and the edits and the scratching in between, and loads of my tunes that I've made since then, I've started off with that same kind of style. You know what I mean? Even the drum and bass tunes that I did a remix of Alternates. Which one was it? Well, because I've just done Frequency as well. One of Mark's tunes anyway, I remixed it, and I did the same thing. Scratch at the beginning, chopped up breaks at the beginning before it dropped into this is the sound of Alternate.
That's your style. That's your sound. That's the XTC sound.
Yeah, it sort of works. So it worked for me. That's that's my little forte.
Where did you learn how to produce them? When did you get into how did you what software was you using back then, and was it just?
If I'm honest, I think when I was,
or was it all hardware? Everything was hardware straight onto the tape.
Watching other people, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Adfield from not too bad, nice. Mark from bloody hell, Closer to All Your Dreams. I always forget. Why do I always forget? See, I told you before. I always forget things. What's it called? We made Closer to All Your Dreams.
Mate, I'm the worst.
I always forget.
I'm the worst. That's why I've got ADHD, so I forget names. Are the worst for me.
And that's why I do it. And then I have to look it up, and I remember. Then it jogged my own memory.
I go off vinyl cases, me for the so I know the actual vinyl case. So if the white labels, I'm done.
I go off centres, mate. I go off centres because usually half my centre's got something written on it.
Yeah.
So I just watched him, because you know when he was making tunes, he produced a lot of music for not just for the band he was with, which we made Closer to All Your Dreams. He produced a lot of music for lots of different people. So I'd be in the studio watching him and learning from them kind of people, Johnny J and people like that, watching what they was doing when they was like using the Atari ST and messing around with the samplers, and I'm going, what are you doing there? What's all that about? Yeah. So I'm watching it,
intrigued.
I'd buy my own, and then I taught myself how to use the samplers and the everything else. Then I went to uni. Did go to uni, but not till later on in life. When I actually already had tunes out, I went to uni. But I did learn more when I went to uni and understood more.
Right. Yeah.
But prior to that, I'd learn, watch, then go in my little studio and use my Atari ST and my little sampler and just try and come up with something, different ideas.
Yeah.
Made quite a few different things, but nothing that I was happy with, so I never released anything back then. I just did remixes for Paul, a Mix Factory. I did a Miracles remix. I did all, different things. But then Johnny J, he came and said, right, we're going to start a band called Family Foundation.
Right, yeah.
So I want you to come and do a mix of Express Yourself with me. So we went in, just got a few different breaks, and it just changed it a little bit. It wasn't too much, just a little bit, made it more jungly.
Yeah.
I think it's the Rave, I think he called it the Rave mix at the end. So that's the one that we did together with Family Foundation. Then he said, right, we're going to do a Family Foundation EP. So we ended up going in, and Johnny had all the ideas. Lee was like one of the producers. I just helped out and did my little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But Family Foundation was great, and Express Yourself was huge. Express Yourself was great. We got signed to PWL, and it was just like, that was another thing that was a good little move. But then I was still DJing, still doing everything else, but I was working in record shops. So I was getting all the tunes anyway. This is great. I'm getting all these tunes in, and I'm making all these new tunes as well. This is
just
great.
Right in the thick of it all. Yeah.
So it was breakbeat, acid house. I mean, it wasn't classed as old school then. It was just house music.
Yeah.
House. You mix, and I'm mixing them all. I'm mixing all these tunes together, and it's great. It's like, this is mint.
Yeah.
Love all this, and then I'd still do my old school hip hop sets.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm just DJing all the time, and then working in a record shop. My life's heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just heaven. And then that was spinning. I was working in a record shop called BPM Records in Oldham first. Yeah. And then Paul got me the job in spinning in Manchester. And then from that point, just loads of different things, avenues open, left, right and centre, radio stations, pirate radio stations, doing remixes for other people, left, right and centre. And, I was like, wow, this is just like a weird, crazy life. Yeah. Then a guy called John Berry came to spinning and said, this must have been about 93 or 94, I think it was. It must have been about 93. Said, Pete Waltman's buying Eastern Bloc. Do you want to come and run the other side for me? I'm going to have the right-hand side. Do you want to run the left-hand side? Doing R&B and hip-hop upstairs, and your jungle and your drum and bass and breakbeat stuff downstairs.
No, mate, you're all right.
I actually said, I'll come back to you.
Really?
Because I love spinning that much.
Yeah.
And what I created at spinning, because spinning was a household name.
Yeah.
From when it was on Deansgate, Cross Street, sorry, it was on Cross Street, and you had Kenny, Russ, Harry all working in there, I think it was Harry, and Brian was the boss. And they all left and set up Manchester Underground.
Yeah.
And Paul then got me in
Yeah.
to help, alleviate the stress of spinning and try and help and try and make it work again, which fortunately I did. So it was good, it was successful.
Yeah.
And then that's when John came in and said, I want you to come and work for me or with me over at Eastern Bloc. I said, right, well, I just got to ask Gary first.
Yeah.
And see, because I'd been working there for 2-3 years.
Don't want to burn any bridges.
I didn't want. And I'd done a lot there. I'd changed the shop around, and then he said, "Right, I'm going to make you a partner.
Right,
make you a partner in the business. Don't leave. You've done. It's been a massive success. Don't leave." A month went by, nothing. John's messaging me saying, "What are you doing? This takeover's coming soon.
Yeah,
I want you to be part of it. Spinning's good, but I know you can do a much better job in here."
Yeah.
I'd already employed Marcus, Marcus K, who became Marcus Intellect because we was the Intellect, so we changed the name to Intellect. I'd already employed Marcus. Well, Marcus was with me. I said to Marcus, what should we do? Should we go, do you want to come and work with me over there? And he said, you know what, let's just do it. He's going to have our own shop then, what I mean? Rather than Gary telling us what to do here. Yeah, of course. We have our own thing. We can just do what we want.
Yeah.
So I went over. I said, right, Gary, sod you then, I'm going over there. Went over, and you can say the rest is history, but there's so much that we changed when we went there. The breakbeat and old school and jungle scene was huge.
Yeah, you changed.
With the obviously white labels, bootlegs.
Yeah,
we had it all. We had it all. Everybody came to us, give us boxes and boxes and boxes, and I'll just say, I'll give them all to us. And nobody could have them. Then no other shop in Manchester would have them. We'd have them all.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, okay. So we'll take them all. And then I know it hurt spinning because I know, I think Sarge, they went into spinning and made it more of a happy hardcore shop, right?
I actually was in the same class as him at SSR. Sarge, Peter Sargent. Yeah. He was in my. He is. He's brilliant. He's a good guy.
He took over spinning when I left, and like I said, he changed it to more of a happy hardcore.
Yeah, that was it was hardcore. Yeah, it went very hardcore. Yeah,
I felt like that's your market. You take that. We're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch the happy hardcore stuff, and we didn't. So the happy hardcore was his. We just did everything else, basically everything else, and it just took off. We just had everything, and then from that point, we created the Intellect, me and Marcus.
Yeah.
And then we got the radio show on Kiss.
Yeah.
We opened our own studio.
What year was that, sorry, Mark?
This is 93, 94.
Yeah.
We opened our own studio in New Mount Street.
Right, yeah.
We started, then Pete Waterman came to me and he said, right, Mark, we want you to start your own label as well. Because this jungle thing's massive now. It's getting bigger and bigger. We want you to start your own label. So we started Intellect Recordings, put out a few tunes. It just became more and more successful there. We just DJing everywhere. Like I said, I'd already been DJing quite a lot with Mix Factory anyway, with the festivals like Fantasia and Mythology, Amnesia, and all the Pandemonium, all the big raves from back then.
Yeah.
But then when me and Marcus teamed up, we just did everything together. You know what I mean? It was just great. Then I think we had difference in styles. I was more still about the hardcore and the hard stuff and break beats.
Yeah.
And I still love like Mentasm samples and all that kind. And Marcus more liquidy and nice chill vibe stuff.
So it worked. It
worked when we was together.
Yeah.
But when we was producing, it was different because I'd still have the harder edge and he still had more of the liquidy. So we went our own separate ways. Plus, I had family that I had to deal with. Marcus didn't have family, so I took a step back.
Yeah. And
he just pushed on with Marcus Intellects rather than that Intellects.
Yeah.
It was just Marcus and Intellect. So he just carried on with the name, and it was successful for him. So it was good. And then I came back after about 2 or 3 years out.
Yeah.
I still DJ'd every now and then, but it wasn't DJ'd as much. But I came back, made loads of music again, And luckily I was signed by Ray Keith.
Right,
and he said, right, I'm going to call you Mark XTC. I felt like bloody, one of the Jedis or something. I'm getting my master telling me what I'm going to be called. Again, another one, like Paul.
Yeah.
And then he said, yeah, we're going to call you Mark XTC then. Forget intellects, we're going to call you Mark XTC. We don't want to use the intellect. I didn't want to jump on Marcus's thing now that he's been successful with the intellect brand.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll just call myself Mark XTC then, and we'll just go from there. And then
back to your roots in a sense. It
worked because, like I said, I'm the kind of person that I'll always play music I like. I'm not going to play something I don't like.
Yeah, just for the crowd, just for because it's a popular.
You're going to play a big tune. You're going to play a big tune. That's granted, but I'm going to play old school. I'm going to play breakbeat stuff. I'm going to play hip hop, and I'm going to play drum and bass and jungle. I'm going to play them kind of sets because I can, because that's where I've come from.
That's you, yeah.
From the beginning to where I am now, so I am going to play them sets.
Of course.
Loads of people are like, well, I'm just like a drum and bass DJ, so I'm not going to play all them kind of genres. Well, sorry, I am, mate. You know what I mean? That's who I am.
Yeah.
So fortunately, that's why I'm working as much as I am, because I can play multiple genres.
Yes,
and these multiple genres, fortunately for me, still touch wood. People want to book me still. So, while that's still going, I'm never going to stop.
Well, that's it. I mean, too many DJs nowadays, I think, that are just, like you say, stuck on one thing, and it's very, very narrative. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where, like someone like yourself and like myself, really, in a sense, because I play straight across the board from, from hardcore to hard techno, you know what I mean? So it goes from happy hardcore to techno, and it goes right through to, drum and bass, jungle, anything that's got that 4 beat.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean? That's it.
It gets you going, you're up.
Hip hop, anything, as long as I like the sound of it, it's just...
Today's show on Cool, so my radio show's still on Cool every month. So today's show on Cool, I thought to myself, right, loads of people keep saying to me, play like a proper old... Amnesia house set, like techno, all them old Joey Beltram tunes, Mentasm and Dominator and all them, play all them kind of tunes. I was like, you know what? Why not? So I just dug them all out and I just did a good half an hour of them kind of tunes on the show first of all, and people like, Mark, love that, no way, forgot about this tune, oh no way,
that's it.
Oh yeah, that was like from 1991, that one. Right, so it's like,
bringing back the nostalgia and it's bringing, that's it.
And that's it, and that's why I was saying, we can play multiple genres. Why not play them? If you like them tunes, play them.
Of course, mate. So where did you like? So from, you said you took a step back. Was that because did you have kids or was it family?
I had my son. I had 3 kids. Yeah. I had my son, my daughter, and another son. And it was like, right, I've got loads of stuff to do here, and I've got a house, and I've got bills to pay. I can't just be DJing and coming home at 3-4 o'clock in the morning when I've got kids to do something with. Sunday morning especially, or whenever we go swimming or whatever. Yeah,
the music industry is quite heavy on that kind of lifestyle.
It takes over your life basically, and if you've got, I say this to all my students: if you get success, your partner needs to understand that success and be with you with it.
Yeah.
And you need to understand your partner also needs to be with you and needs to be around you, and you need to work together.
Yes, of course.
If you've got a partner that then is a bit more demanding and needs more, that's going to hinder you with your work.
Being creative and
your production, your creativity. Unfortunately, back then my ex was a bit like that, and she was a bit more demanding and wanted more time to do what she wanted to do. And then the kids, you're going to have to look after them, you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that. I need to go and do what I've got to do as well. Yeah. So it's like, fine, it's like, you've got just responsibilities.
Yeah, of course,
That's what it is. Yeah. And, other people was younger, well, me and Marcus were always the same, and he didn't have as many responsibilities, so he could just roll with everything and go everywhere. I couldn't do half of that kind of stuff because my kids were young, so I couldn't really do as much as I wanted to do.
How did that make you feel? Like did it make you feel held back and like kind of you envy him in a sense, like because
I think back then I didn't really care because I loved my house, I loved my kids, and it was great to be able to do them kind of things as well. Yeah, I didn't miss it as much because I didn't know what I was missing. If I was honest, I'm the DJing. I was still DJing, not as much, but I was still DJing. I wasn't DJing in the big clubs in London and things like that, like Marcus was. But for me, I'd already done that, so it was nothing new for me really. But it was great for him because Marcus wanted it, so it was great for him. And I was like, buzzing, And he still carried on the Intellects brand. The name Intellects was still there. It's a name that we made up and then Lex, X obviously being from XTC.
Yeah.
So it was like great. I knew that was still going.
You were still there, so you was living it through him in a sense.
So I was still living it through him, so it was great.
Right. Yeah.
So the fact that the brand Marcus Intellects was just ace still made me feel great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good.
It still is to this day. It was like we had a little thing where we didn't really speak as much because he was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. But then when we did get back together, it was always, we still got to do an Intellects thing. We still got to get back together and do something together. Yeah, we will. We've got to do it. Yeah, we've got to do it. We kept saying it over and over again until about 2 years before he passed. We was like, right, we're going to do it. And then we'd planned, we was linking, we was going to do that Intellects thing.
Yeah.
We was even thinking about doing tunes together again, doing the set together, things like that. And then, obviously he passed a couple of years after that, which, was heartbreaking for all of us. And it still is to this day, you know what I mean? I still got my little thing in the house about him, and it's just,
bless.
It still hurts to this day about Osh. I still call him Osh as well, which is just mad, because he was called Mark Osh in my head.
Oh, man.
So we call him Osh.
Oh,
yeah,
bless you.
Still go and see his mum every now and then. Still see Pat. So yeah, the Intellects, we will go forever. We will be forever.
Of course. That's
the Intellects. I mean, like I said, Marcus Intellects is still forever, but
forever in people's hearts at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, bless.
Yeah. I know.
Don't know what to
Sorry,
say. I feel
sorry
bad.
for a bit of downer on that one.
No, it's all right.
That was Well, I mean, like I said, then we came back.
Yeah.
Marcus was doing his thing. I came back as Mark XTC. Got signed by Dillinger to make some tunes on his offshoot label called Beats. So that was great. That was a buzz, because I always wanted to sign to Dillinger because that was the kind of genre of music I wanted to make. And then Ray Keefe signed me as well to Dread. I made some tunes for him.
Yeah.
So that was great. It was just where I wanted to be. And then I signed into another label called Hard Leaders, Moving Shadow. So I signed to loads of different labels anyway, as the X or Mark XTC, or I had a couple of different names, actually, a couple of pseudonyms, which I still don't know why. Even on the Family Foundation, BAF, Bad as Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry. I see, I swore. I knew I was going to. I tried not to. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to put that explicit.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have to change this explicit now because of me. But yeah, that's the reason why I called it BAF.
Right.
Instead of Mark XTC.
Right.
I mean,
Bad as Fuck.
Yeah, don't know why. I just liked them silly aliases at the time.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's loud. It's kind of...
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it just,
gets people's...
But now I'm old now, I think, why did I do that? It's just called Mark XTC, or just XTC at the time. But, yeah.
See, I always thought it was because of the XTC. Like you said before, you told me the story of it now. It's like...
Yeah.
I was just thinking, why?
And maybe
I met you,
subtle.
And I'm like, this guy isn't Mark X. This isn't an XTC kind of guy. Like,
maybe that's why, because of the XTC thing. I thought, I don't want to be associated with a drug, so I don't want to use XTC for everything. Maybe that's why. Maybe I did do that.
Subconsciously,
Yeah, maybe that's why. Because, like I said, I've, in my time, I've smoked weed in my time. Yeah, but I've not done anything else. I never have, and I never will.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm mad, and I think it made me more mad. But I've got kids, and I don't want my kids thinking it's all right to be that wasted. You know what I mean? And I've seen people pass away. Let's say I've seen people pass away from the drugs and different things. That for me, it was always like, no, I can't. I don't want to be down that route, and I don't want my kids seeing that either.
So how was I know it's a bit of a cheeky question, but back then, signing to all these different labels, it was all hard copies selling vinyls, right?
Yeah.
That was the money side of things in a sense. Now it's the gigs, isn't it? It's the numbers.
This is what another thing that I preach to all my students. They all want to make beats. They all want to make tunes, and they all want loads of tunes out, and they're going to think they're going to be superstars.
Yeah.
And they're going to be loaded, and it's going to make loads of money. I said to them, look, 30 years ago, maybe. Because vinyl, back then, you could sell 2,000 copies of a piece of vinyl, and that would make you, in the region, more like $5-6 grand.
Yeah.
If you could sell that kind of amount. Now these kids are selling.
Yeah, take away your overheads and
selling tens of thousands.
Yeah.
But Spotify is 90p for a tune.
Yeah.
Or is 60p for a tune.
Yeah.
And they're still not getting the full 60p. They're getting a percentage of that 60p.
Yeah.
So they sell 10,000 copies of a percentage of 60p. So it's not £10,000. They're getting, I think, 13 or 15p per song.
But if they
So
go
if they sell 10,000, they're getting about not even 100 quid.
But if they're selling 10,000, I mean, you're gonna get the gigs. You're gonna get the gigs. Then you're getting recognised as an artist.
Yeah, but this is what I explained. They think that they're going to make loads of money, but they're not. You know, from the sales of the tunes.
Oh yeah.
So I explained, no, this is why I preach to you about DJing.
So if there's anything you could say to like a young, up and coming kind of producer, what would be like it's like five tips from that. What could you give him? Or 3, go for 3.
No,
3 tips.
I'll go for 5.
Okay, yeah.
First one would be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Second one would be don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't say you like multiple genres. Don't mean that you have to just make one of them multiple genres. If you decide, right, I want to make a breakbeat tune today, make a breakbeat tune.
Yeah.
I mean, just do what you want.
Be creative.
Be creative. There's another one. Be creative. I'd also say the amount of people that think DJing is not an art form. It is an art form, and I'd say to anybody that just goes into DJing, don't think that this is just a fast way of making money.
Yeah.
I'd also say to them, use it to make money. Not saying not to, because obviously DJing, you make money from that, but remember the art form.
Yeah. Number 4.
Number 4 was be creative when DJing. Do something different.
Yeah.
Play 3 and 4 tunes at the same time.
Get your style. Work on your
Scratch if
style.
you want to scratch. You know what I mean? Scratch if you want to. A lot of people don't like scratching, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So scratch if you want to scratch. But be creative. Do something different.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Out
I mean,
the
a
box.
lot of drum and bass DJs do double drops and triple drops and do things like that. A lot of house DJs don't do that. They just blend and blend and blend, which is great. And a lot of old school DJs do the same. Blend into the drop, and that's it. That's that's their forte.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I have to do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if I'm mixing on 2 decks, which more often than not, I would get bored on 2 decks. I like to do something different. Again, like be creative. But a lot of these DJs now, they'll just mix to the drop, and that'll be it. And then they'll fade and wait for the next one. And then again, just mix it to a drop and then get the next tune in.
Yeah, just very generic.
I mean, I'm not being harsh, but anybody can do that.
Anybody, yeah.
I mean, especially with this day and age, more often than not, they'd look at the lines. I mean, this is one of the things I always pet hate. The kids that look at the lines and don't even have the headphones in and rely on the cue points and the lines.
I think it's, I
think that's in time, and then when they bring it in, it's off and it's on the wrong beat. Oh, what's happened there?
It's not visual.
You've not listened to what you're actually doing. You're just looking and thinking that's right.
Yeah.
And then trying to bring the tune in. You're not even feeling the tune. You're not even thinking about the tune.
Not listening to it.
You're just looking at the lines.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's today's
culture.
I think it's today's tech.
Yeah.
Because when we was younger, we was vinyl, so we had to listen for that first beat. We had to get the beats in time, and we had to listen with our ears.
A classic one again this week. I was in the class. I said, right, we're all going to mix using the turntable and the CDJs today. Oh yeah, fine, Mark. So I just press play on that tune on the deck. I said, no, you're mixing that one in on a piece of vinyl. You're mixing that in with the CDJ.
Yeah, heads fell off.
Where do I press start? How does it start? And where's the cue point? I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's it then. Just like holding it, cueing it in with the hand.
Listening.
And then when it was out of time, it was like, what do I do? How do I get back in time? I was like, see? That's why DJing back then was so much harder than what it is now.
Yeah, of course.
Like, right. I'm going to master this. I'm going to do it. So that's what I love that when students get keen and they want to do that. They want to learn. They want to learn and understand how the concept of DJing became what it is now.
That helps you progress as a DJ then yourself, yeah. Of course it does.
I think it gets them to understand where the whole concept came from. You know what I mean? Because they just see it as DJing, pressing a button.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And making money.
And dancing.
That's
it.
it.
And it's like, no, there's so much more to it than that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So much more to it than that.
Brilliant. So number 5, last one.
Number 5. This is one that I've not agreed with, but it's one that they have to do in this day and age. Have some form of social media presence.
Right.
Have some form of it, because if you're trying to get into the industry,
so you're like you're all for the social media.
They have to in this day and age. This day and age, you have to. You can't. I mean, if let's put it another spin on it. If they haven't, how is anybody going to hear them?
So basically, it's to make their own business. So a business page, rather than the kind of, I look at social media as in like people talking on Facebook and getting involved with people's lives and this kind of thing. That's kind of the social media side, where a content creator, where you have your own content pages, your own channel, and that's you as an entity, as a business.
That's what I mean. I do see that there's people that do go on Facebook or social media and all they do is waffle.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever actually gone on there and had a major waffle, or I have had a couple of rants when things have, pissed me off. I'm going to say that. When I have had a couple of rants, but not many. In all the years I've had Facebook or Instagram, I've not really had much. I mean, I think I had Snapchat for a little bit, and I was like, "This is just nonsense."
I got rid of it.
It's just nonsense. It's
Kids,
just like it's just waffling onto each other or just chatting to each other and sending each silly messages. No, I don't want to do that. It's just about promoting. If I've got a gig coming up, or if I've got a tune coming out, or my grandson's birthday, or my daughter's birthday, or my wife's birthday, I'll put something on social media. But apart from that, I'm just thinking, I really haven't got loads of nonsense to say on there. I might put a meme on there and then to make a joke. Yeah, I'm not going about that.
But
for marketing yourself, and promoting yourself as an artist, yes, have some form of social media presence.
And what do you think is the most important bit of that?
Well, I would have said 5 years ago, have Facebook and Instagram, and you'd be all right, and you start to get some kind of presence. But now TikTok has taken over everything, and there's others left, right, and centre coming around. So they have to have some form of presence in all of these days. Yeah. Especially if they want to be, hugely successful.
Cross-platform.
Yeah, it's going to be cross-platform. I mean, when we had Eastern Bloc, I had two young lads. One of them was the accountant's son, and one of them was another lad called Mark. Mark used to come in and say, "Mark, I want to be able to do this." I'll show him a few things. Oh, that's great. Show him a few other things. Mix some vinyl, and I was, this is great. This is what I want to do. So yeah, come on. So we carried on, doing these little things. I'm going to start making music as well. So bring in your tunes. I'll help you. Next minute, this guy's called Mark One. He changed his name to, and then he started making dubstep, and he joined up with the Virus Syndicate. And I'm like, wow, no way. This is a kid that used to put me on his under 18s nights or under 16s nights at Stockport College. Under 18s it was Stockport College. And, I helped him out, helped him get into the industry, helped him, understand DJing, helped him to DJ a bit. Yeah. And then we seen him a good few years ago, and he's like, but don't know about this whole dubstep thing. I said, mate, make house music. House music is, you're going to make money from making.
No, exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Next minute, this guy's got loads and loads of house tunes out. Yeah, he's made some really good house. Mate, Mark, these are great. So I've teamed up with this other guy. We're making we're going to call ourselves Salado. Yeah. Yeah. Next minute,
the boys,
superstars. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, okay. Yeah. Don't forget me.
Yeah.
And he never has. He never has to this day. You know what I mean? He still phones me. He had one of his podcasts. He had one of his podcasts, Mark. Yeah. One of the Salado podcasts. So that was good. And then there's other people. I said the same thing. Always remember, do what you want to do, and do what you love and what you enjoy and what you like. Yeah. If you like it, do it. Just because somebody else might not like it doesn't mean you don't have to do it. Yeah. And Mark said, a lot of people are not going to like the house music if I do it. So what? Just do it. And now Salado's huge, massive.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So love that. Then obviously Amin Boo is like a superstar now. Amin, when he was a student, he always said the same thing. Mark, I just want to just make music that I like. Yeah. I said, well, do it. I said, when you start making music that you like, you love it again, and you love that passion. You don't have to make something to fit into a crowd. Yeah. He made loads of tunes that I just loved. He enjoyed making them himself, and he wasn't the kind of person that loved to DJ. And he liked DJing. I taught him how to DJ. He loved DJing, but he didn't want to be that. But I said to him, same thing. That's how you're going to make money.
That persona kind of.
That's how you're going to make money. Is you go out there and you play an hour set. You can get more money for playing that hour set than releasing 3 songs. Yeah. And he's like, you know what, you're right. And now he's like a superstar now. He's just unbelievable.
That's it. So you've been a massive inspiration to
a few people. Yeah. A few
well, people. I think a few more than a few.
Yeah, there's a few. It's been good. But I mean, like I said, I'm a stepping stone in their journey. You know what I mean? Their journey's just their journey. I'm just a cog in it. You know what I mean? Same way when I look at other people like the Johnny J's and the Cash Moneys and Jazzy Jeffs and, Leaky Fresh, Owen, Chad Jackson, if it wasn't for them kind of people, and Paul, my cousin, if it wasn't them that kind of people, I wouldn't be the way I am. Yeah. So, you know, it's a learning curve, and if you've got that person that's going to show you something or guide you, just listen to them.
Take it. Yeah.
They might
grasp it.
Might be talking crap sometimes, but sometimes that little thing might sink in and think, oh yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Right, yeah, so fantastic. Anyway, Mark, it's been brilliant you coming in, and it's been a massive pleasure, to be fair.
It is. I mean, like I said, I love this. I do want to play more tunes as well, but just the fact that we can actually have a chat, that's it for me. There's people talk about podcasts and what is a podcast and what it is. These people having a chat.
Yeah, of course it is.
People having a chat and talking about history and talking about, you know, future, what's going on.
Inspiration.